Welcome to the Shameless Plug with Crimson Vibes and Denise's Creative Mind.
We spotlight the real, no shame in the game. Two queens with the mic calling out your name. From side hustle dreams to headline steam, we raise your voice, we build your team. We don't whisper, we amplify. Your story's power can't touch the sky. This ain't luck, it's divine design. You show up and we align. This is the Shameless Plug, we show you love. Co-sign, you shine like stars above. Dinner trend, Deneen, the dream tag team. Plugged in, turned up, shameless and supreme. Let him watch you break the mold. Your biz, your brand, your story told. You're next, you're bold, the space is yours. We open paths, unlock new doors. No filters needed, just your flame. We hype your purpose, speak your name.
Plug.
Woo! Hello, 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 hello. When you see us, you know it is Tuesday, 8 p.m. We getting good, girl. I mean, we starting on the dot now.
Yes.
Okay? I'm so proud of us. We don't need no engineers, okay? I'm so proud of us.
Look, guess what? I found the sound equipment. I ain't put it together for this one, but I found the sound equipment. I got it. It's close by. I'm gonna test it out. We gonna be okay.
I got you, girl. I got you. I got you. Well, if you are watching, I am Deneen, and
I am Denitra.
And this is the Shameless Plug podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Woo! I can number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Wow.
I think we're gonna have to go back and count, but I think we're at 9. Sounds about right. We're gonna say 9. We're gonna say 9. If there's an extra one, then it's 9.5. You know, we there. We there.
No, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find
out.
You know
okay.
What? We say it now, and then when we get off, we forget.
Yeah, that is true. But listen, that's because when we get off from here, we got other stuff we be trying to do. So, you know.
Yeah. We be like a bat out of hell when we get out of here. Be like, all right, this, that, whatever. Okay, deuces. All right, talk to you later. See you tomorrow.
That's it. That's it. That's what we do.
Oh, girl, what has been going on in your life in the last week?
Actually, surprisingly, a lot. Like, I have been uber busy. I can't really talk about a project that's coming up, but I can say shout out to Backstage Entertainment. You know, it's a writing group. We're collabing. We're working on something huge. So shout out to my people that is in our writing group. We gonna do something really big. So we're working on it now. So I can't really talk about it, but I am so excited to work with these talented men and women in this group. We're gonna work on something big. Oh, and I really can't talk about something else either, but like one of my scripts is going to be, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but like one of my scripts is going to be like in the midst of going through production. So it's not me producing it. So, you know, yes. So
congratulations.
Thank you. So things have been like really moving along pretty well. Everything's good in my world. Well, what about you? How's everything with you?
Well, you know, I have been, you know, and I was talking to a friend and I was telling her what I'm doing. She's like, you know, you doing it, girl. You super busy. I was like, no. She's like, yeah. It's like when you just go through the motions, and you don't realize like you have a lot on your plate because you're just doing what you have to do. Yeah. So, you know, last weekend I was in, not the one that just passed, the weekend before, I was in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And so when I came back, I opened up my school, Science Assemble, And so far, I have, I think, 4 or 5 members. Yay!
Yeah.
Shout out to my members. Oh my God, they are so
Awesome.
supportive. We're having fun in here. But I really haven't had the time. Like I've been giving them like free images. And if you don't know, my school is a place where you can come. It's a community where you can come, you can learn. You can learn AI, you can learn Canva. I show you how to do composition notebooks. And we're gonna have our first challenge to well, I'm gonna put the challenge out there tomorrow. And
Okay.
I'm gonna create this. I don't want to tell them ahead of time in case they're watching.
Okay.
So we're gonna have this challenge. I'm gonna give them some images and they're gonna have to do something. And then this weekend, we'll decide either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And what we'll do is we'll go live, and then whoever's in the live will pick the winner. And then I will gift them with something. I don't know what it'll be. You know, it might be like, you know, who knows, Amazon card or something, you know, just Starbucks card, you know, just something, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do in my school. You know, I'm doing it like while it's still small, you know.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I got
Congrats.
an order for my composition notebooks, 50 books. So I'm still working on that. That's due by Friday, which is why I've been so busy, because putting them books together is work. It's all right when you're doing 1 or 2, but 50, oh my God, when the printer don't want to act right and this and that or whatever. But I'm getting it. I'm almost done. I'm over halfway done.
I'm praying for you. That's
Pray for me, girl, because I plan to be done by tomorrow.
Okay.
I was up. What was it? I think it was Sunday morning. I was up to like maybe 3 o'clock in the morning doing these books. Like I am determined, you know, to get these books done ahead of time.
Wow.
Yeah, and so what else I'm working on? And I think that's about it. You know,
That's a lot.
I know I did a little bit more on my pitch deck.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So I did a couple of more slides, and I think that's about it.
Okay.
And working a full-time job, right? I know, right? That's a lot.
That's a lot. That is a lot. Well, you know, we stays busy, you know.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. And you know, and we were just talking backstage, and I was saying, you know, and I still got to play my Call of Duty, because you know that's what brings me down, my Call of Duty. But baby, let me tell you, I be shooting. When I die, I be doing something with the book, and then I go back, and I'm just back and forth, back and forth. I die, I go up, put another one in, I print another book. I'm just like back and forth. They know, and I be telling my team, I'm like, I'm late. That's because I'm messing with the printer or whatever, and just like, oh my God. So
that's what you call multitasking.
Yes.
At its finest.
At its finest. At its finest. Yes. So
wow.
I love it. I love it. It keeps you busy. It keeps the mind going. You know, it just, it is what it is. That's all I can say. It is what it is, you know. But it's fun. It's fun. But one little thing, like, you know, I have my little work table, and, you know, I have my cutter, which I have to start getting into. My next project is my yearly planner. So I have my cutter, and I have you know, my little setup, my little laminator and this, and I got the little scissors to trim around. Girl, what? You ever lose something like, you know, you just had it and now you can't find it?
Yep.
You know it's there when you're like, here I am, but you can't see me. Here I am. And it's like, oh my God.
Like some little gremlin moved it.
Yes. You know, like, I live alone. Nobody's here unless I got a ghost, and Lord knows I don't want no ghost in my house. Where are these little scissors? I did 3, like really, like maybe 2 notebooks looking for these scissors. I could not find these scissors, and I was determined I was not going to do another book. But I use the little scissors are easier for me to trim the excess around the edges. And I would refuse. And I'm looking, and I'm like, I did not go. All I did was walk right there and walk back. Like, where could it be? Girl. So on my cutter, I have like one of those guillotine cutters. And when you cut the paper, you know, the paper piles up under it. So, you know, I scoop it up and I put it in the garbage. Somehow, the little scissors ended up in the garbage.
Oh.
Now, you know, I was pissed, right?
Oh my gosh.
You ever just get mad at yourself? Like, you just get mad at your own self, right?
Yep.
So that's what's going on in my world. That is what's going on in my
world.
Wait,
did you realize that the scissors was there and you can get them, or this was like when they were gone, trash is gone?
No, I got them. Because I'm like, the only thing I did, I'm like, because I felt, when I picked the paper up, I felt that I would have felt the scissors in, you know, the little scraps, you know, the little scraps of paper. I felt that I would have, I said, let me me just look in there. And I moved it and I was getting ready to give up. And it was like, oh, you found me, huh? I was like, you know what?
Them sisters said, I was tired, boss, and they needed
I
the rest.
know, right? I needed a break. They went on a coffee break.
I was like,
On a coffee break.
I was tired, boss. I was tired.
I know, right? Well, that's what it is. So after last week, oh my God, we had an amazing, amazing time last week.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
With Peter.
Yes.
Book with suicide prevention. And it was really, it did get touching. I ain't gonna lie. It got touching. You know, he told his story, how he came through, you know, and how he saw that light and everything. And that he you know, just like what really saved him, what really saved him and everything. So but you know, it was amazing. But I feel each show is more and more amazing because we have another amazing guest today.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You want to do the intro?
I'll do the intro, and she put something in the chat, so you can try to work out with the chat while I go through the intro. Okay. So CJ Jason, I hope I'm saying it right. When we were backstage, I was like, did I pronounce your name right? So CJ Jason is a creator and the producer of Disabilities Unleashed, a groundbreaking variety show that collaborates the talent and visibility of people with disabilities. As an international keynote, CJ blends powerful storytelling, soulful songs, and practical skill building to empower women and those newly disabled to become joyfully resilient. Yes. Her engaging and transformative talk inspire audiences to move through grief, fear, and change with courage and hope. CJ's mission is to uplift and ignite possibilities on stage and in life by showing that joy can exist even in a struggle. Oh, I love it. I love it. And let's add CJ. Welcome, CJ. Yay! If we had some sound, you know, you would hear applause and stuff like that.
We'll applaud you. I got the sound. I can do a loud hand clap.
So I saw in the chat, is the hearing okay now? Is everything good, or are you still hearing doubles?
I'm still hearing. I'm still hearing doubles. So I don't know if you are going to hear that double playback when I'm talking. But...
Denitra, you got anything turned up?
No.
As long as you're not hearing double, I'll just go.
No, but we want you to hear.
Yeah.
When we were backstage, you didn't hear doubles though. Before, you didn't hear doubles, right? Did you?
I'm hearing doubles right now, so.
Oh,
no, I did. Yeah, backstage.
Well, you didn't say anything.
I did. I put it in your chat, girl.
No, before we started.
Before we started, it was fine.
Oh, okay. That's what I wanted to know. Before we start, was it fine? You know, it was
yeah, before we started, it was fine.
Yeah, but between me and you, when it happened before, it was Denitra. Shh. That's why you didn't even come back. You over here. Shh.
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm still hearing double. So
you're still hearing it?
Yes. Ignore it. But let's move on. Let's power on. Let's talk about the amazing things.
Okay.
Well, technology. You love it when it works. When it don't work, it's like, oh, why? But we need it.
Right. I just want to give a shout out to Monaco Moore Doctor. She's watching on Facebook. Hey, Monaco.
Hello.
How are you? And we also another shout out to Only One Door. She said, oh my gosh, she said Deneen out here snitching.
Oh. You telling on folks, Denise?
I don't know what she's talking about.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
what she's talking
Well, you
about.
say you don't know nothing?
I don't know anything.
Hey,
So CJ, tell us about yourself. Welcome.
So, my name is CJ Jansen. I'm known as the singing speaker, and I'm from near Toronto, Canada. And I elevate and celebrate persons with disabilities. I am a professional speaker, a keynote speaker. In fact, I'll be talking later about my trip to New York City uh,
ooh.
in the next couple weeks. I speak professionally, sing music, write music. I am an author, soon to be published in like 2 weeks, and then a couple more months, I'll have a second book out. Uh, I have been many, many things in life. There's a bit of a joke
Mhm,
because in Toastmasters you do what's called an icebreaker, and
mhm,
you introduce yourself to everybody. And I went up to my group and I said, "What does a lifeguard, a professional clown, babysitter, a paramedic, a truck driver, a master scuba instructor, a disabled person, an author, a speaker, and a singer, etc., have in common?" Me. I have actually been all of those things. I have traveled the world as a scuba instructor. I have driven an 18-wheeler from Winnipeg to New Mexico and everything east. Had to reinvent myself numerous times for different reasons.
mhm.
The most recent invention was because on my 39th birthday, I got the most wicked birthday gift ever.
Ooh, what'd you
I got
get?
a wicked virus.
You said
And it put me in this wheelchair.
Mm.
oh,
And don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you've got till it.
she's gone. Joni Mitchell, right?
You got it.
Love that song. Yes, yes.
So what happened was I developed just an ordinary virus, but that virus morphed into a neuroimmune illness called encephalomyelitis. And it leaves me about 80% bedbound, generally constant pain. I still have a life now. But when I first got sick, I went from scuba diving 2 to 4 times a day to overnight being barely able to speak beautiful words.
Wow.
I lost everything, just boom. And after a few months I was still working and living in Mexico as a master scuba instructor. And I hopped on an airplane because I couldn't afford I couldn't stay there and not work. I came back to Canada. Oh, that was cold. I never wanted to come back. I'm a bad Canadian. Uh, I then had to deal with 2 life-threatening illnesses, not just one. I came home as a full-blown alcoholic, and 5 days after getting on that airplane, I made it through the doors of AA, and I've been sober since. So, we're October 26th will mark 13 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So, through the process of healing of that, what I did is I had to learn how to start over, how to begin again, and through that process of joining AA, well, you get opportunities to tell your story, to share what you're going through. So where you were, where you are now, and your sort of hopes and dreams for the future. And I started doing that, and I saw what I didn't like in speakers, and I saw what I liked in speakers,
Mm-hmm.
and I decided that was something that I could be good at. And I joined Toastmasters, and I had been building that for 8 years, working towards being a professional speaker. I am an award-winning speaker now. I actually, earlier this year, won the YWCA Woman Representation Award in Boston, and with each time I try to share my story, when I
Mhm.
teach other women how to become joyfully resilient, or other disabled people how to become joyfully resilient, I started developing sort of three main pillars, and that has now morphed into something that I call Amazing Grace.
You know, you sent us some information on the Amazing Grace. Can you explain? Because it's such a, of course, it's such a timeless saying of Amazing Grace. Can you explain the program that you've started?
Program is it's it's 5 steps,
Mhm.
and it focuses on G stands for grieve what was lost. Because I know that when I first got sick, I felt as though I had no value, that I was a burden on society. I was just a waste of space. I had lost all I was useless, right? And part of that was I had to grieve being a paramedic, being a truck driver, being a master instructor. I lost all my friends. I lost my job. I lost my hopes and dreams for the future. And it takes time. Like when you get sick or you're in a car accident, you get that cancer diagnosis, whatever it is, through a major divorce, whatever, you have to go through that process. The R stands for reframe thoughts through gratitude. So I have learned to live in a constant state of gratitude. What does that mean? Well, today, for example, I I'm traveling to New York City, and I cannot bring my big, massive wheelchair.
Yeah.
It's too often they get broken on airplanes. It would be my only source of moving around. So I decided to make an investment in a wheelchair, and I thought I had time. I wait for a specific credit card to show up in the business, and all of a sudden I get a call from someone, "You have to buy it now because they're taking it off sale today."
Mm.
Wow.
To run over there, and I'm all flustered, and I'm gonna be late for my swimming program, and this credit card was that credit card didn't have high enough limits. I could be mad, I could be upset, I could be frustrated, but instead, it's like, I get to buy this wheelchair. I get to have this many cards that are being declined because I don't have a high enough on one of those credit cards. If I break it down, I can still buy what I need. I ended up only being a few minutes late to this swimming program where it's the only way I can exercise safe. At that pool, I have somebody that helps me get undressed, that helps lift me into the pool with a special, lift device. I get to go
Mhm.
swim. I get to live in that state of gratitude instead of always looking at the negative side of things.
Right.
The A stands for act fearlessly. Coming on this podcast, I don't know who I'm gonna be talking to. I don't know what to expect. I get to speak to you and share my I get to share that story with your audience. I am trying new things, but I'm also moving this way to New York City to speak right near
Mhm.
Times Square. That's terrifying because I have to get a flight. I have
Yeah.
to figure out how I'm gonna get to the airport with a wheelchair. Once I get there, how do I get from LaGuardia to downtown, whatever that Midtown? How am I gonna get there? And sorting out hotel rooms, and so it is 100,000 times more complicated with a wheelchair, and that's terrifying, and yet I don't take that opportunity. I will be able to say, "I'm an international speaker," right?
Yeah.
I get that opportunity. I'm pushing past the fear of the unknown and going on an adventure instead. The
That's
C
cool.
stands for connect with community. When you go out and you try new things, and you do things that with a sense of gratitude, You're
Mhm.
going to surround yourself with people that will hold you up when you are too weak to stand on your own. I have surrounded myself with the Start Over community, which I'll get into in a minute. And they are absolutely phenomenal. They are all go-getters. They are all people that are striving for better in their lives, pushing through their own traumas, writing chapters in the books that we are all publishing together. So you can create community by trying those new things. And the E stands for embracing new passions and purpose. Or you can repurpose old skills into new passions, right? So
Mm.
my ability to teach scuba diving, speaking in front of my students, has turned into a speaking career. So
Wow.
that is where sort of the idea of grace comes from, that I can accomplish all of those thoughts into a feeling because we all need a little bit more grace,
Yes.
right?
That's
That was
beautiful.
yeah, that was good. I like that. I definitely like that. So, we always have a bunch of questions, and I sometimes go first because Denitra be taking up all the questions.
Oh,
Um, so you answered my first question. My second question is, how do you choose the stories and talents you showcase to celebrate your disability visible visibility?
One at a time. I'm not going to remember more than one.
Okay, how do
And
you
I'm
choose
hearing
how do
echoes,
you
so
choose
I'm
the stories? How do you choose your stories and talent?
okay. So for yeah, I choose the stories and talents for my Disabilities Unleashed stories events um, by auditioning. I have a show that goes on twice a year, once in December, once in July, that I use to elevate and celebrate persons with disability in the Kitchener-Waterloo region, which is in Southern Ontario. I'm always looking for new acts, people to hire, and I try to pay reasonably. It's not a full professional wage because I'm still developing the connections and sponsorships. Um, but I'm looking for people in the full spectrum of disability, the apparent, the non-apparent disability. You talked about people last month experiencing thoughts of suicide. Been there, tried that, further. Um, but it was a really bad time in my childhood, for sure. And it was, you know, if you have a mental health issue, whether you have a physical issue, it really doesn't matter my show. What I do is show amazing things that can accomplish when they have disabilities. As for when I'm on stage telling my story, I can talk about my childhood abuse. I can talk about watching my mom die of cancer over 13 years ago when I was 16. Talk about all sorts of other traumas. But what I have learned is that it's more important for me to focus. It doesn't mean we don't need to heal. We do. But by focusing on those steps of grief, I find stories related to that. So one of those things when I talk about gratitude, when I go into a grocery store, when I first got sick and was put in a wheelchair, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna have to ask people for help." Now, I go out of my way to find the grumpiest looking person, and I will ask them, "Can you help me grab whatever's just a little bit too high for me, whether I can reach it actually or not?" And I call them my supermarket heroes. And I had one lady the other day, she wasn't much taller than I was sitting down, but she had arm length. And I said, can I borrow your," and she grabbed the cucumbers from that top shelf, and she sat there and cackled, absolutely cackled, because I have never been so tall in my life. Um, I can turn around a person's day just observing people and pointing to something, "You know, you look awesome today. Do you have a job interview or something?" Or, I love your hair. Or one of my favorite things is I look for that person in the room who I've met before, perhaps, and I say, "You know what? I love how your smile lights up the room."
Oh,
It's amazing when that happens, how their whole attitude can change.
yes,
I had
yes.
one lady in the craft room that was normally a smiler. Uh, she was one of the most effervescent people, but that particular day, she wasn't. And I walked over and I said that to her, and she looked at me, and she had this very complex set of emotions go across her face, and from sadness to joy to just contemplating. And she said, "You know what? Today is the anniversary of my husband's death." This is an 80-plus-year-old. And you know what he used to say to me? What he loved about me most, he always used to tell me, "Love you. I love your smile."
Oh,
And, you just never know that what one tiny act of kindness can do for somebody.
yes.
And I gave her a big hug, and she just held on to me for a little bit longer because she needed it that day. So when I do things like that, I will find stories like that to share to make things poignant, but I'll
Mhm.
also, add in little jokes like, "Always on the bright side of life," and somebody always whistles.
I can't whistle, so
But what that does is that I can build that story up and
right.
then give them that sense of release so they go, "Okay, so the worst of that is over. We can laugh about it now," or, "Hallelujah."
Mhm, mhm.
Whatever it is that I need to break attention or to create mood. Like when I sang the "Don't It Always Seem to Go," right? When
Don't
I
know
did
what
that,
you got into
it
this
brought
zone.
you down with me into that darkness of losing you, right? So that's I choose stories that are powerful, meaningful, um, to make sure that people understand the meaning behind what I'm share.
Okay,
Awesome. It's
okay.
beautiful.
So I have a question.
Awesome.
So I have like many people they struggle with change and fear. I know I do. I don't like change. Um, as coach said, you have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, which that's just easier said than done.
True.
But what's one practical tool you share that helps them move forward with courage? Courage. Why I can't get that word out? Courage.
One practical tip is one practical thing that I can say is that recognizing that fail is the first attempt in learning. Nobody's perfect the first time. I want you to play like a child. If you think about a child learning how to walk, do they fall down, sit down, and cry for an hour over the fact that they couldn't do something when they tried it? No. Down, up, and they stumble again, and they try again, and they do a number of different things. And I think that's really important for us to understand that we need to be forgiving of ourselves, that we
Mhm.
don't have to strive for perfection. We just have to be open to being a little silly, to being a little different, to be able to fail. Because when we fail, we haven't actually failed. We are creating the building blocks to success, right?
Right,
Because you are making new connections, you are meeting new people, you are getting new skills,
right,
right? What you may not understand is that what you learn today, you may need it 5 or 10 years from now.
Mhm.
You've learned the skill, right? So by trying all these things and experimenting, when I first got sick, I made jewelry. I wrote music for my church and for myself. Um, joined Toastmasters. I joined VA. I did a number of different things that opened me up to this whole new world of people, amazing opportunities, which has led over and over and over again to these new opportunities and experiences, and it's phenomenal.
It's
Okay.
awesome. That
That
is
is
awesome. Oh, all righty, my turn. My turn. So I'm going to ask all the wonderful, fun questions. If you could create a theme song for Disabilities Unleashed, what would the vibe be? Is it an anthem? Is it a ballad? Or is it a party song?
I already have one that I've been using.
Okay.
My song,
Mhm.
but it's very short.
Okay.
Uh, how could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to know that your love is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Oh,
So I
that's
use that song, I sing it to every audience, and then we've got the words posted behind us. I have the other people that can and sing join me on stage and sing it a second time, and they're allowed to start joining in if they have the idea of it. And usually by the third and fourth try, the entire audience is singing.
that's cool.
oh, wow. That's beautiful. So we know that you have a beautiful voice. And
Yes, yeah.
so, what is a song that you love to belt out when nobody's watching?
Hmm. Oh, that's a really good question. Um, I'm trying to remember the first word. It's oh goodness me. Well, I have my own song. I have my "Don't Give Up" song, but I yesterday I was like, "Oh, happy days,
Oh, happy
oh,
day.
happy days, when Jesus walked, when Jesus walked, He washed my sins away." I mean, I really enjoy that one.
Yes.
But there's one of
I haven't heard that one in a long
oh,
time though.
uh, mountains. Yeah, that one.
Yes.
Oh,
Awesome.
Yeah.
um, oh
Now
my God,
I'll
who sings
rise
that
up.
song? Yes, yes. That is my song. That
It
is
is
Yeah.
a
my
beautiful
song.
song.
That is so emotional. That
Yes,
is so emotional.
it
Rise
really
up.
is. Yeah, it is.
I love that song. Yes. Um. Oh,
Look.
she said
Oh.
that literally melted my heart.
Ah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that is awesome,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
That's
So, CJ, can you tell everybody where they can find you on all social media? Like, where can people, like, I need to hear more of this wonderful individual. I need to be empowered. Let me search for. So, where can they find you?
So I can be found at cjjansen.com. So if you
Mhm,
look at my name on the screen, cjjansen.com.
mhm.
mhm.
That's my website. And then I'm at CJ underscore Jansen on Instagram.
Okay.
And as of next week, sorry, the week after next, I'll be in New York City at Trip Wyndham, and I'll be speaking at a Start Over event.
Wow.
So I am part of a group of people that have created a series of books called Start Over: Turn Any Loss into a Sensational Comeback. And It is being sort of led by a gentleman called Sir Marco Robinson out of the UK. And right now there are 10 books in series number one. We've published up to book four, so New York will be the publishing of book five. And my writing is going to be in book nine. So I expect that my book will be out in December, January type of thing. And there are 14 authors per book.
Wow.
And yeah, and each one of us are sharing those personal stories of triumph, of success over those overwhelming odds that happen in life. Because I don't know of anyone in my life that hasn't overcome a tragedy, that hasn't faced adversity. There's nobody that just coasts through life. If you look even at the very rich and famous, some of those people are the most miserable people in the world. And not because they have money, but because they aren't connecting with people or they have faced tragedies that we never see or hear about because they make their social media all sunshine and roses. But
Right.
there's other stuff that's going on in the background. It goes back to that story about the woman and her husband. We never know what's going on in somebody's life, right?
Right.
And so for me, it's one of those things that these books are like the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. It's very similar. So there's going to be 10 in series one, and there are so many people who want to write. There's actually another entire series. So if people find me on my email, cj@cjjackson.com, they can email saying, I want to be in that book, and I will
Mhm.
connect you with the team and help you write your amazing story.
Wow. That's amazing.
awesome.
But
That
if
is
you want to see us
I hope,
live
I hope
as
Peter
speakers
needs to be watching. I
in
hope
New
Peter's
York,
watching. Mhm. Yeah. Is this your first time to New York?
um, it will be the first time going to New York when I wasn't driving an 18-wheeler.
Wow.
How was that like though? How was that like driving an 18-wheeler?
It's terrifying and boring. It's terrifying and boring because you're driving and everybody around you are pretty much scary idiots.
Right. Because I
The
know
number of
I'll be
people that I have
super
not killed by slamming on the brakes, like people come in the merge lane, I'm going 65 and they stop and then try to merge in front of me at 5, 10, 25 miles an hour. And they think 18 wheels, 18 brakes, stops on a dime. Have you heard of inertia?
Mm.
Mm.
And yet, every highway pretty much looks the same. You don't get to stop at a lot of detours and go to scenic sites. It's get there as fast as you can, to get back as fast as you can, to spend time with family and to have a life. So it's not the easiest job, but I am thankful I had the opportunity. I did get to see most of the US in some format, but
Did you ever
I'm
be like breaker breaker
yeah,
1919? Did you ever do that? You know how they do breaker breaker 1919?
I
Did you have a handle?
I did. I had my handle was Northern Melody.
Oh, that's cute.
I love it.
I used to sing to the guys as we traveled down the highway. Um, so I would, especially at Christmas, I would be like, "You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you." These guys would call, "Where's that baby doll at? Where's that baby doll at? I want to follow her truck for hours." I used to have a convoy of trucks going with me just so they could keep listening to the songs.
Oh,
Oh, that's
that's
awesome.
nice. Well, CJ, it has been real. We really thank you for coming and spending time with us.
Yes. And
Um,
we have to have you back on once you're done with New York. We have to, we would love to have you back on to tell the stories of how did everything go.
Sounds like a plan. And I have another book coming out in 2 weeks. So
Yes, and talk about the other book.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so
Yes.
much.
The other book is a second volume of what's called Pillow Writers. And Pillow Writers is it's a group of people that have illness as I do, and it is about our stories about recovery or how we've improved our lives or how we worked around our illnesses and stuff. It's an anthology book, so it's a whole plethora of writers together. And I've waited 2 years for that one to come out. So it'll be on Amazon.com as an ebook, and I think it's paperback. And eventually, there will even be an audiobook. Um, I don't have any more details than that, but I do
Mhm,
have a link to the New York City. There are 50 free tickets to New York City to attend. So if you have New York City followers, there's an opportunity for you.
mhm,
Oh, awesome.
mm.
Okay. Cool.
Well, yeah, yeah. That's. Well, I definitely wish you the best.
Yes.
I will be definitely following you as soon as we get off. I'm gonna look you up on social media and follow you because I like to
Yes.
keep up with our guests. And when we have that 50th episode or 100th episode, we're gonna try to have all our guests back, and we would love to have you back.
I
Yes.
would love that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to, you would take us out with a song.
Not long ago, I reached my end, thinking I could never mend. But when all was black and sad, a little angel came and said, "Don't give up, hold your head up high. Right now the skies are cloudy, but soon through. I won't give up on you."
Um,
Oh, I love your accent, especially when you sing it. I love it.
That's the
I
first
love it.
verse of one of my songs.
Yeah, I love that. You can really hear the accent when you're singing. I love it. Well, thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
yes. Thank you so
And
much.
don't be a stranger. All right. Bye, CJ. Have a good one.
Love you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh wow, that was cool.
That was that was really cool. Really,
That
really cool.
that was amazing. It just like,
Yes.
and you know what? And it's sometimes when you're going through life and you're thinking, like I never forget one time when my knees are still bad, but my knees were like really really hurting. I was angry, like really angry, because my knees was hurting, like, because I was just tired of being in pain.
Yeah.
In the corner, and I saw a man in a wheelchair, and I was like, with no legs, and I was like, all right, God, I got it, I got it,
Yeah.
I got it. I
Yeah.
will take my aching knees, and I will be thankful that I can walk with my
Exactly.
knees. Because someone in a wheelchair who don't have any legs wish that they could walk with their aching, knees, or whatever it is. And and
Yeah.
that's what there's a lot of people. We see people with disabilities, and we be like, oh, and sometimes we don't really think of the struggles that they go through, especially, and I can imagine it's something different. It's something that you're born with, you grew into it, you know how to cope with it. But if something just happens to you overnight and your whole life changed, like, that is really something. That is really
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
I'm was glad to hear that story,
Yeah.
hear her story. So that's amazing. Wow. So
Yeah.
look who we have here. Our engineer showed up.
I know
Let's
our
give a
engineer
shout
showed up
out.
and we got guests. So our
Right.
engineer,
So I just want to give
thank
a
you for
shout out.
coming.
We have Lisa She's this is my cousin from North Carolina. I just saw her last weekend before last. Hey, cuz. And then my other cousin from up in Albany, she's watching Cheryl Harris. I know we did get a notification that something was up with the Facebook. So if anyone's sending messages in Facebook, I'm like looking on the phone to see because it's not popping up on the actual stream and whatnot.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's it. So
Okay.
you know, but yeah, we just saw Mr. Tom Badass. You know, he's very shy. He doesn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't engineer either. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, he had this long explanation of what he was doing while he was away when he should have been on the show and everything. And I just let me see if I can find it. Can I find that right now and add that here and play it? Talk for a minute while I look for that and see.
Why I got why I got to talk for a minute?
Excuse me, because I got. Oh Lord.
I think that is our cue to keep it moving.
No, I want to see because I don't know if everyone saw this this video that Tom made. I got it somewhere. I don't know. I didn't want to have to download it again right quick. But I don't know if it's better when he's here or when he's not here. I don't know which is better. Which one you think is better? When he's here or he's not here?
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one. I'm gonna plead the fifth.
You know what? You crapped out. You crapped out.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one.
Yeah, you crapped out, man. You were supposed to stand strong and stand tall.
I'll stand strong later. Not right now.
Oh my God. I can't even find it. I can't even find it. So that means it must not have been meant to wait, let me just see. If he gonna oh, here we go. Let me see if I can download this right quick, y'all, because you know he gave us this sorry excuse trying to understand. Do we have another guest?
We have two guests, yes.
I only see one. Is Rebecca here? Oh, she moved down. I didn't even see her there. Rebecca.
Yeah, and Mickey is there too.
I don't see Mickey. All right, let me get Rebecca's let me get her bio up. Rebecca. Okay, here we go. Rebecca. Oh, Rebecca, as a former what's that? Collegiate. Is that say collegiate? Tennis player turned special educator. I never imagined entering the financial service industry. Growing up in a family of teachers, financial struggles were a constant, and I assumed my career path would always reflect that. However, everything changed when I lost my husband unexpectedly and wasn't prepared. I quickly realized how much our society is lacking in financial literacy. I knew I had to make a shift, not only for myself, but for the families I could help. Now, I'm deeply passionate about the mission of No Family Left Behind, where I aim to teach families the essentials of personal finance, and empower them to build a better finance future. As a wife and a mom, I believe that proper planning can ensure no family goes unprotected. Financial securities isn't just for the wealthy. Every family deserves opportunity to build generational wealth regardless of their background or circumstances. It's never too late to leave a legacy. And with that said, we are going to add Rebecca to our show.
Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
Meet you guys.
Hi, I saw you when you popped up, but I guess when Tom and it moved you down, and I didn't scroll down, so I didn't see you. You know, but that's what he's here for, to let us know. But
well, Tom was trying to steal the show.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Always. We haven't seen him since like last year. So now he's
Oh,
back,
Right.
so
gotcha. Oh,
yeah.
Right.
wonderful.
So
So
how are
cool.
you?
I'm doing well, doing well. Been busy, but it's been a good busy.
Okay.
Helping people, growing my business, and just I'm super excited about what I get to do at this point in my life. I was a high school special education teacher for over 20 plus years,
Wow.
so I never thought I was going to make a career move, like, and completely change everything I do at the
Mhm.
age of 54, but here I am doing it. So, right? Goes to
There's
show you
nothing
can
wrong
never
with
tell
that.
yourself no.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wait a
Exactly.
minute. Let's go back. You said how old?
I'm 54.
You look like you in your 20s.
Aren't you
I
sweet?
know. I did. I thought so too. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
So,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Wow. That is beautiful. Okay, so I get to start the questions this time, right?
go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
we normally will decide who's going to start the questions, and she started the last time, so now it's my turn to start the questions.
All right.
All righty. So, you transitioned from being a collegiate athlete and special educator into finance. What
Mhm.
was the hardest mindset shift that you had to make in that journey?
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I think, I when I went to school and went
Mhm.
to college, it was always you went because you had to get a job. You're right.
Mhm.
I didn't go at that point in my life because I was pursuing a passion. And not that being a special education teacher isn't a beautiful, beautiful job. I love the students I work with. I loved what I did, but it wasn't my direct calling. And I
Mhm.
always felt like had something else in me. And so my biggest mindset shift has been finally doing something I wanted to do, my passion, my dreams, my desires, and putting myself out there to people to really see kind of the authentic me rather than just the work me.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That's good. That is really good. Um, I had another question. What did I do with it? Okay. So, growing up in a family of teachers,
Mhm.
what lessons about money or lack thereof stuck with you and influenced your mission?
Yeah, yeah. So it wasn't just growing up in a group of teachers, but I grew up super poor in the inner city in North Minneapolis. I was working by the time I was 8 years old,
Wow.
trimming lawns with my brother. My parents couldn't afford a whole lot, so I was buying my own shampoo, my own conditioner before I was even double digits, right?
Yeah.
So I've always known what it is to have to work hard for everything I had. And nothing ever was given to me. Nothing was ever easy. And I think that my father was a teacher, but in the era I grew up, women stayed home too. So there was
Yeah.
always only one income, right? So you just didn't have extras. Like I
Yeah.
remember my mom and dad at one point breaking my piggy bank to get money for milk, or things like that. And I just always wanted to be better than that. I wanted to do better than that. Not that my parents didn't give me a great life, but that I just didn't want to have to struggle. I didn't want to have to go, okay, how am I going to pay this month's bill? Or how am I going to do this? Or, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I ended up becoming a teacher myself, right? And
Mhm.
following in those footsteps because it's like, you get so ingrained in what you've been taught and what you've done before in your whole life. But I just pursued continuing getting more and more education, got more and more, schooling and just all of those things. And then all of a sudden there was this pivotal point with me where I just was like, I want to do something more. So I tried to become an autism consultant actually and
Mhm.
started my own LLC. And I was going out there trying to help families who had children with autism in their own homes because I don't know how much you are aware of what the school system does or doesn't do, but it's not helping families in the home, not where it
Yeah.
counts, not on the floor level, right? Everybody sends their kids to school. School becomes almost a day treatment center. And then they go back to home, and then there's no skills that the parents learn to help their children.
Mm.
Mm.
But then as
Yeah.
I was working with them, I realized They can't even afford me to learn what to do in their own home because they don't even know how to manage their own money. And then that's
Wow.
when this kind of all fell into my lap. I was like, well, you know what? All I'm doing is repeating the cycle of what I grew up in. And if I don't help them, they're going to keep repeating the cycle of what they're growing up in. And so that was kind of the company I get to work with is so beautiful because we're free to our clients. We don't cost any money to our clients. Where most financial advisors, right? You have to spend a ton of money or have a ton of money to get some kind of guidance. And what a disservice to the majority of America, right?
Yes.
I mean, doesn't everybody, whether you're young and starting out, or if you're a family with young kids and you're struggling to figure out how to put enough money away or whatever it is, doesn't everyone deserve that? And so then that's kind of where I was like, I need to like pursue this because I can still help the people I'm the closest to and the children that I'm used to working with, but I can do it on a different platform and on a different level.
Wow. That's
Okay.
beautiful.
I like that.
Yeah.
So now you have the phrase "no family left behind." What does that mean to you, like personally? How does that drive you to work?
Yeah, so that kind of ties into what I was talking about, just that fact that you could be a family with kids with special needs. You could be a young kid coming out of college. You could be a couple with young children. You can be Asian. You can be African American. You can be, white. You can be whatever you want to be, but we all deserve the ability to have the knowledge of how to build our future, right? There shouldn't be any filters. In my mind, there's no filters when it comes to this. If you need it and you want it and you are pursuing it, I want to help you. I want to give you the best chance at the best future possible, and the company I work for, we have everything from debt reduction to will and estate planning to we have life insurance products. We can help people with retirement planning and securing that lifestyle. We have final expense planning. So there really is nothing we can't do that can't help a client. And like I said, the best part is we sit down first and foremost and we give them a financial literacy session. So even if you don't do something with me, you get to walk away with a bunch of knowledge. You get to walk away knowing, hey, I didn't know any of that beforehand. Now I at least have a grasp. So I can go and start researching and figuring things out for myself, right? And then if you have, we always call it holes in the boat, right? If you have any holes in your boat and we can help you fill those holes, we want to. And I only get paid if I help you. Okay. And I don't even get paid from the client. So let's say one of you needs some life insurance. All right. And I find you a super awesome product that's going to fill that hole in your boat. I do all the work. I get you connected. I attach the company. I do all of the middleman stuff. The company pays me for bringing you to them and helping you out. So you are never.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So piggyback it off of that. So what are the top 3 financial essentials that you believe that every family should understand and should have?
Oh, yeah.
No matter the income, like what should they have?
And I'm writing this down.
Yeah. Well, everybody always talks about saving, but then once they save, nobody knows what to do with it, right? They just stick it in their checking account or savings account. And let's be honest, banks aren't there to get you wealthy. They're not there to take care of you. They take your money and then they go bring it somewhere else and they get wealthy.
Exactly.
Okay? So, the very first thing I think first and foremost is education, understanding how your money works, right? And how do you take, even if it's $10, how do you take $10 and how do you double it? And how do you double it the fastest you possibly can? Right? And doing that. And so it's learning about different types of products and accounts. Like, if you don't want to keep it in a checking and savings account, what is a high yield interest account? Or how much money do I need to have and save before I can, open up like an annuity or different things like that. So it's that huge education piece. The other part is I would tell families if they're afraid of finances at first, and they just want to do something easy and simple from home, high yield savings accounts. Okay. You can find them anywhere. They don't cost you anything. They make a lot more interest than your standard bank account. So anytime you save, put it in a high yield savings account.
Gotcha.
Protect it and get it in there, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And then it's just making a plan. Okay. How much am I going to save? Have that budget, have that in place and know exactly what are your bills. Be disciplined to save a certain amount and then put it in a place that's going to help it grow. And then let it sit there for enough time that it actually can grow, right? You want to do that so that basically now you're creating your emergency fund, right? So if
Mhm.
anything happens, you've got that. So you don't have to all of a sudden be borrowing off your credit cards or going to your 401k and taking money out of that and getting all those fees and, you know, having those charges. Okay. You've built that emergency savings account. Okay. And then that's the part too, as you're building that emergency savings account, if you're staying on a budget and you're doing your savings, right, you should be out of debt at that point. If you're not out of debt, that's where you would want to work with like a consolidation service or a debt service, because that everyone sits there and thinks like, oh, well, I'll just keep putting X amount, like $50 on that. I'll keep doing it. Well, the problem is the interest is so high, you're not getting
Yes.
anywhere, even if you're
Right.
doing that. And don't have so much pride that you can't get the support that you need by using one of those debt consolidation companies or services, because they really truly do help. And yeah, it might make you feel kind of icky inside at first because we all have pride, right? You
Yeah.
know, we don't really like it.
Feel like
But
a
if you-
failure.
yeah, but if you can, but in reality, what you're doing is making a smart decision. Right? You're doing something proactive that's going to get you out of debt, that's going to put you into a better position so that you can now educate and support the rest of your family down the road. You know, and it's trying to teach people that it's about mindset. Or even like people think about life insurance and they're always like, well, why would I, I don't need life insurance. I'm only 35 years old. Well, the life insurance isn't for you. It's for your family. It's in case something happens and your family needs to be taken care of. And I'll share you a quick story. You kind of said it in my bio. I was 46 years old. I lost my husband unexpectedly out of the blue. You don't expect to be widowed at 46 years old. I had two kids in high school, and I was that person. I didn't have life insurance. I didn't have a will and estate set up. I had nothing. I lost our home. I lost our car. We had to move. I had to uproot my children. I couldn't support them in college. I couldn't do anything. Okay. It doesn't have to be like that. The things that are out there are to help you, not only help yourself, but help your family and leave a legacy and take care of them. Because let me tell you, after my husband died, I would have loved to have not had to worry about money. But here I was worrying about money, emotionally destroyed, having to move from my house, and then my children were emotional wrecks. I couldn't, trying to parent them. It doesn't have to be that hard. Being in the emotional stage is hard enough. Why do we have to put ourselves through all the other pieces?
Right.
And especially if you start young, life insurance is cheap. Like you can't have $50 a month to keep yourself insured. So if something happens, your family's taken care of for life. Right. It's priority. And so I really think it's about teaching people about mindset.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So even with, we're now in an age and time where it's like people have to really decide, can I afford to pay rent or can I afford to put food on the table? So how difficult is it now when it comes down to life insurance and, saving? Is it more difficult in this time than it was, let's say, 10, 15 years ago?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it is more difficult. I think the cost of living is more substantial than we could ever have dreamed it was going to be, right? Yes. And not only our careers, what was it? I just read an article or whatever. It says $150,000 salary 10 years ago is still $150,000 salary. Okay. So our salaries haven't gone up. We're not getting increases, but the rest of the world is going like this. Exactly. And that's why you see people all the time now picking up side hustles and extra gigs, or they're working 2, 3, 4 jobs. Okay. And I'll be honest, how I got involved in the financial industry is I was working full time as an educator, and I picked this up as a side hustle. And this is what I did to earn extra money to help with my family and to get us up and going. And it worked.
Turned into a
So
plug.
yeah. And so we're constantly expanding and always looking for new agents, because what's really interesting is in the financial industry, over 37% of life insurance providers are retiring. They're boomers, and so
Mhm.
we're in a huge deficit in our industry right now. So if people are looking for that side hustle or that next thing to help them over those hurdles, they can reach out. I would love to share with them what I do. And if they're interested and have a little hustle and a little grind in them, I can get them going and on their way.
Oh, well, tell them right quickly where they can find you, though.
Yes, please share that.
Yeah. So I work with Transamerica. So I'm under that umbrella. But yeah, you can find me. I have you can email me directly, Rebecca Stengel. So my full name with the number 1 at gmail.com is my full email name, or you can even reach out and call me out or text me 651-247-0841.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah.
You're giving out the number and everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
That
John
is
asks, I am with WFG. Tell him, and I'm with one of the top 5 teams in the entire agency. And
that's
I think
awesome. Congratulations.
and I think one of the parts, I don't know, John, what you know about WFG or not, but every group has its own uniqueness. And our group is really, really big on education, training, and support. Yep. We believe mission before commission is our kind of motto.
I love that. Mission before commission.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
That
John,
is
come join
awesome.
me again. He keeps popping up. He said he made it all the way to SMD there.
Oh, look at
He
that.
needs to be on a fun team.
They talking they lingo and whatnot. We don't know what's going on. So what advice would you give the person who says, you're like, oh, you got to be educated, you got to do this, and they say, it's too late for me. I'm like 60 something years old. I'm getting ready to retire, and it's too late. What do you say to that person?
Yeah, I said never too late. Like I said, I'm 54 and I made the jump, and special education, finance, like they're opposite ends
Two
of the
ends of
spectrum, right?
yep, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I started, I knew absolutely nothing about finance. I'm going to be 100% honest. I just knew, I was like, the opportunity came along and I'm like, I'm going to dig in and try this out. And I would read books, and I just made a commitment and a passion to myself to learn, right? I'm one of those people, I don't like to do anything unless I can be good at it. And so I just kept learning and educating and digging in until I had the knowledge that I needed to be successful. And like I said, I could sit and glide 6 more years on my way out and retire as an educator, but it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't meeting my needs. And I'm sorry if my brain says I need more. Like it says, I want to go farther than 60. I want to be a change maker. I want to help others. I want to see our world a better place. I don't want everybody to be miserable and, to your point, struggling to just put a bag of food on their kitchen table.
Yeah. That's some people are like that.
Yeah, that is true.
So what is the misconception do people often have about building generational wealth?
Well, they think that they can do it by just working, right? Yep. And that's not really how you build generational wealth. Majority of generational wealth is passed down from other wealthy families, right? It's a small percentage of people who hit the lottery, do things like that. And the majority of generational wealth are entrepreneurs. They're people who have started their own companies. They've built it from the bottom up, and then they do the wise things with their money, such as life insurance, securing themselves so that if something happens, their families are taken care of. So a large portion of generational wealth or legacy planning can come through life insurance. Yeah.
Really?
So very rarely do W-2 earners pass on generational wealth.
Yeah.
Rare. Those, I run across people all the time that sit there and go, well, I'm not going to be a 1099 employee. I'm not working for commission. Well, the reality of it is, when you're a 1099 employee and you're working for commission, you're the only thing to stop you. There is no glass ceiling in any other aspect, right? I work
Mhm.
as hard as I want to work. My growth is based on me.
Yes.
It's not based on a boss. It's not based on a company. It's based on me. And the harder I work and the more families I help and the more passionate I am, the more money I make. And it's a win-win, because where else can you go and help families and build a life at the same time?
Right.
It's really hard, right? Because as a
Mhm.
teacher, I would go help families. I'd help children all the time, but I would get poorer every year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or think of police officers, think of nurses, think of, anybody in the public servant industry. We're expected to help others and be treated like we're not worth anything,
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
That is true. That is so true. Oh my goodness. Awesome.
Where's
Speaking of
where's your fun
generational,
questions?
huh? Oh,
Where's
you
your
got it.
fun questions?
I don't have my questions for this one. This is like very educational, and I'm really invested. So, let me have the fun questions for this one. I have everything business. This is the business side right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, generational. Nope, we already asked that one. Um, how
Hey,
do
John, the
you?
Vegas convention was a blast.
Uh,
He keeps popping up questions here. I see him on
that's
the
because you
screen.
know what? That's
That
that's our
John
coach.
is one of our number one fans.
Yes, he is.
Well, I
Yes,
think
he
I
is.
like him. I
Yes,
want to
he
hang
is.
out with him.
See, look at that, coach. You have somebody that wants to hang out with you. Now you won't bother me and Deneen. So that is true. I do have one last question.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like social media is great, and it seems like all the secrets are now coming out. And so, we have always thought of life insurance as like death insurance. Like you cannot reap the benefits of life insurance until you don't reap the benefits of it if you the one with the policy, you're gone and then your family reaps the benefits of it. But can you explain the difference between whole and term life insurance?
Yeah. So whole life insurance is basically a permanent form of life insurance, right? It's supposed to last till after you die, right? So you're almost
Mhm.
guaranteed that you're going to get it, but it usually comes with really high premiums. And
Mm,
you're building some cash value inside of it, but it builds very, very slowly on a fixed rate.
got you.
Okay.
Hmm.
Term life insurance, you can pick how long it lasts for, but it's temporary, right? So it might go for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and there's even some 35-year policies out there,
Hmm.
right? That is mostly when you get a term policy, you have to think of it not for yourself, it is for your loved ones,
Got
right?
you.
You're putting it into place to make sure if anything ever happened to you, that it would help your loved ones. Yeah, John said it's like renting a house. Permanent's like buying a house. I like that, John. Absolutely. But the thing that people don't understand is only 3% of term policies ever really pay out, right? So when you take those out, you're taking it out for the what if. Okay.
Got you.
And so you need to make sure that you understand that you might outlive it. And you put all that money into it and you might outlive it, but you had it in case something bad happened, right? It's like cell phone insurance, right? You might never crack your cell phone, but people put cell phone insurance on it all the time. You have home insurance, right? Your house may never burn down, but you
Yeah.
carry insurance on your home in case it does, right? Think of the term that way. And there's actually something we call the gold standard of life insurance, which is an IUL, Indexed Universal Life. This does both. It allows you to build cash value along with the market with a 0% floor, meaning you can never lose money by investing money into it, but it also has a death benefit tied to it with living benefits on the side. So if you got a terminal illness or something like that and needed to tap into that death benefit to help you pay your bills, you can, right?
Mhm.
And the premium's flexible. So you would pay
Really?
a certain amount. Like let's say I decided I want to put $500 a month into my Index Universal Life policy. But 1 month I was struggling. Car broke
Mhm.
down, tire got flat, whatever. There's a minimum, and sometimes the minimum might be $78. You could pay that $78 to keep it in force, okay, for that tough month, and then go back to paying your normal premiums, right? So it gives you the best of all the worlds. It gives you permanent life insurance, gives you the ability to grow a bunch of money inside of it with the market, but without ever losing anything. So higher than a fixed rate, right? And it gives you flexible premiums. And the best part is if you care, let's say you have it for 20 years and you've accrued a bunch of money in there.
Yes.
You decide, okay, we want to buy a house. I need a down payment on a house. You can pull that money out of there tax-free to put a down payment on your house. So it works kind of like a Roth in that aspect in terms of being tax-free money where you can pull it out. Okay. There are, you know, you would want to work with your financial advisor to learn all the ins and outs of how you do that to make sure you do it appropriately. But it's a definite possibility. Or like if you have a kid and we call them $1 million baby plans, and it's not a technical term, but if you took out a policy when somebody's a newborn and you put $500 a month in there, or 200 or 300, whatever it is, like you can afford. But let's say $500 a month. By the time that baby is ready to retire, like at 65, there'd be like well over $2.5 million in that account for that baby. So they would be a millionaire when they go to retire, just for somebody setting up account for them when they were young.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. That is awesome. All right, Denise, you got a fun question?
No, I don't have any fun questions. I have one more
fun ones.
I know.
I think we were saying, so, you know, this is business and this is, you know, the importance of it, but we should have had a fun question. I will ask this. Now, you were a tennis player.
Yeah.
So, if you, at this point, like, let's say you continued on that path of being a tennis player, which tennis tournament would you have preferred to be involved in? Wimbledon, the US Open, like, which would you have preferred to actually play in?
Which one I do the best in is probably the US Open. Which one would I want to be in the most? Wimbledon.
I got you on that. I got you. So see, I did have a fun question. My aunt and uncle, they follow tennis like crazy. So I think
you gotta love Coco Gauff. She's our American like go-to girl. You know, gotta cheer her on.
Yes, she's my aunt's favorite. And then as far as with the male, what's his name, Djokovic?
Oh, is it Djokovic? Yeah.
Yeah, that's, oh my gosh, she'll talk about him all day, and I'm just like, Auntie, I don't watch tennis, you know, but I'm listening, but I don't watch tennis. And she's all into it, and I'm just like, I hear you.
Yeah, I love it. But you entertain her. You let her like feel.
I do. She's like, come watch it with me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. I don't know what a love is or 15. She'll try to explain it to me, and I'm just like, okay, let me play the video game version first and see if I can catch on with the video game. And then maybe we can have a conversation about it. I need tennis for dummies or something, because
don't start with pickleball, because that scoring thing will mess you all up.
Okay, see, I figured, because I hear people, I'm in North Carolina, and people talk about pickleball all the time, and I'm like, what is pickleball? Like, are you like tossing a pickle around on the back? What is pickleball?
Yeah,
where did that come from?
It's a fun sport, especially as you get older and you can't like move like you do on a tennis court. It's got totally different rules to the scoring, but you play with a little tiny paddle and a wiffle ball.
Oh, okay. Because I saw them playing at the Y, and they look like they really be into it, and I'm just like, this
People go crazy for it. Yeah,
it's intense.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you for answering that question. But that's all I have, and we know where to find you. And I will be contacting you, because now I know you deal with a lot on the end of personal, but does your organization also deal on the business end, the people with LLCs?
We actually can help. Yep, we can help small businesses for sure. Key person insurance, 162s, things like that. Yep, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm writing that.
Ask me, what level am I shooting for currently? I tell them I should be an MD by next week. And then it's off to SMD, John.
So what are these terminologies that you guys?
Yeah, what's the MD? What's that?
What happens when you get on the platform, right? Everybody starts off as a training associate because they don't just set you free and go help people and you know nothing, right? So you have to start out as a training associate, and from there, as a training associate, you can work up to an associate, which means you know a little bit more. And then there's a senior associate, then marketing director, then a senior marketing director. So they're just different levels that you can get up. And the higher you go, the more commission you get. Right. And it just really comes down to, knowledge, skill, time in the business. So obviously, the higher you go, the more knowledge and skills you have.
Wow. Awesome. Well, congratulations on, your next level and then your level after that. Congratulations on that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Awesome.
I have a fun question. So just came on. So I don't really have, but let's just say I have. So let's just say, I had a baby and everything, and it's the baby first birthday. All right. And you're the godmother and you're invited to the birthday party. What are you giving as a gift?
I'd give her an IUL. No,
I figured you would say that. That's why I asked. Yes. Because you got to start them young, right? You start them
young. I'm in my second marriage, and so I have 3 step boys that are all very young. And that was the first thing I did for all 3 of them, is I set them up with their own index universal life policies. And a couple of reasons. 1, I can fund them. I start them early and I get them in a good place. And then 2, once they're old enough, they can fund them and learn the value of saving and investing in something for themselves and then seeing it grow. So that, because I think the big problem is a lot of kids, they get jobs when they're in high school and they don't save anything.
Right.
This gives them a platform and a tool to start those habits early. Yeah. So I think that's a good part is that's that whole education piece is the more that we can help parents and educate them on different ways to help their own children. And then if they're educating their children, because let's be honest, schools they're not learning it in the schools.
No,
right?
no.
Even with these new laws for personal finance classes, it's limited. They're not learning what they need in the schools to help them as adults.
Yeah,
right?
I wish when I was going to school back in the early 70s, I wish I had what I know now, back then, life would be so much different. Even though back then, oh my God, it was this one bank account that all kids, they take and you open up for kids. You had your little bank book and
I remember those. Did you get the little pig too? Did it have that with it?
Probably, I don't remember.
Plastic pig.
I don't remember, but I know I had no idea what happened to that bank book. I probably got some money sitting in the bank right now. I don't even know about it. And so, it's like, they don't teach you about all of that now, even because to be honest, I was like in my late teens because my brother was the one who showed me how to write out a check, how to make out a check, how to do this. And it's important to learn this at an early age, start them young. If you have a birthday party and you get $10, 5 should go away. At least 5 should go into a bank account, go into whatever it is that you say, but you put it away, not get them. We're gonna go to the store and you spend the whole $10. No, you gotta start putting them away. And I'm like, I wish I knew that. And I still have to keep the mentality that it's not too late. I got a little dollars in the bank, but I don't have, no millions or anything like that, and I plan on retiring in a couple of years, but I'm okay, but I could be better. But so
well, it really, it's not, you don't have to have millions, right? To set yourself up into a positive place. It's just taking what you do have and putting it in places that are secure and that you're not. The last thing you want to do is be 4 or 5 years away from retirement and have your money out in the variable stock market and all of a sudden have it crash and lose half of what you're trying to retire on. And when you're really young, when you're like in your teens, early 20s, you can probably suffer through that and get time to get back on that horse and grow it. But when you're later in life, you can't. And so you just have to be really thoughtful about where your money's at and how long, you know, you're saving for and how much you're putting away. And yeah.
But you also have to change that mentality, because I know when I started, I kept saying, I got time. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm young. I got time.
Mhm.
Well, here we are 40, 50 years later, and
Yep.
time is here.
Yeah.
Time is here. I'm like, well, what happened? Like, I thought I had time.
Yeah.
Because it goes by so fast. You don't think
It
it does.
does.
It goes by so fast. So,
Yeah, and it's gone before you know it. And that's like that's the part, is I think rather than just teaching around ways to save or ways to invest, you also have to teach around mindset.
Yes, change your
Mhm.
mindset.
Yep.
Yes, and that I know that's what I have to do, is change my mind, because I get to the point where I either don't spend any, or I spend like too much.
Yeah.
But now I'm
Mhm.
like, do I really need this? Do I really
Yeah.
need it? All right,
Mhm.
no, I don't really need it. Like sometimes, like, do I really need food? Like, no, I can, like, but nah, it's just, it's a learning. It's learning. I'm still learning. Like I said, you're never
Yeah.
too old to stop learning. So I'm still learning,
Absolutely.
and I am much
I love it.
better. I can honestly say, and thank God, I am much better off now than I was 10, 15 years ago. So that's
That's
a
good. Yes,
yeah.
that's
I'm still
awesome.
poor, but I'm just not as poor.
Well, like I said, I've been there too, and it's hard. It takes a lot to dig out, and sometimes, you have to put up more energy up front to get some freedom on the back end. And
Yes,
so,
yes, this is true.
mhm.
This is true. I don't know what happened to my co-host.
Yeah, I
I
know.
think
She just disappeared
I
on
think
us.
she'll be right back. She probably hit the button and accidentally took herself out the room. But she'll be back. She'll be back. So, but I want to that definitely, and thank you. And I hope that someone who's listening, who has some kids running around, it's like, what, I need to get on this. I need to get
Yeah.
on this. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
And like I said, you have nothing to risk. If nothing else, sit down and get the educational session, learn about money.
Right.
Doesn't cost you a penny.
Right.
I'm not a high pressure salesperson. I'm not going to be like, you're not allowed to leave this for no. It's like we said, mission before commission. It's really about the educational process, and helping others so that they can help themselves and then their families.
Wow, I love it. I love it. Well, our show has been very, very educational tonight, and I
Yes, it
love
has.
it. I love it. You
I'm
have
so
any?
glad you guys had me on tonight.
I'm so glad you made it.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We truly appreciate it. And this was information that people really needed to know,
Absolutely.
Because,
Yep.
like
I
you
wish
said,
I
finance
knew
could
it.
be scary.
Yeah. If I could go back into my 20s and I knew then what I know now, what a difference.
What a difference, right? What
Mhm.
a difference.
Yep.
I'll be doing
Very
this
true.
podcast in my mansion somewhere or something like that,
Yep. Mhm.
It
Probably.
can still happen.
Yep.
Yes.
You never know.
You
Yeah.
never know. Yes, I got to check my lotto tickets. I might be a millionaire. Don't even know it.
Well, we can always get you. You can always come join me and work with me. I'll
Oh,
take you.
please. I can't add anything on my plate. Okay. I have, I do have my
I get
side
how that
hustle.
is too.
Yeah, I have my side hustle. And like, as soon as we in this podcast, I got to go back to making some books and stuff like that. So trust me, I never say never. Never say never.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, you know where to find me now.
Yes,
We
yes.
sure
I'm
do.
going to friend you and everything. So what about your social media? What is your social media?
I'm on Instagram at Rebecca.Stengel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I'm there. And then, of course, I'm on Facebook as well. Rebecca Stengel.
Okay.
Mhm.
Got it.
Awesome.
All right.
I will be following you.
Likewise.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining our show. We appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and we definitely want to have you back.
Yes, I would love to. I would absolutely love to come back. And you guys are amazing. I love your energy, your smiles, just your
thank you.
your authentic, joy. You can just see
Thank you.
joy is in both of you, and I love that.
Oh, thank you so much. We try our bestest. We do.
Can we get some applause, Tom Badass? Can we get some applause?
Yeah.
He
Where is
don't
he?
fall asleep. That's our engineer.
He disappeared. Oh, there you go. There you go. Little delayed, but he did it.
Awesome.
All right, Rebecca, we wish you the best. And again, thank you for joining.
Yes. Have a wonderful night.
You
Take
too.
care.
Bye, Rebecca.
Bye-bye. Oh, I'm sorry. What you saying?
Oh, I just said bye-bye.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye. Oh, I hit the button. Wow. Whew, girl.
Wow.
I think our shows are getting better and better. I
They,
mean, like they are all amazing, and they just, I love, love, love the people that are coming on and talking about either things that we don't want to talk about, things we need to talk about,
yes.
what we should be talking about, what we need to know, like all of those things. It's important, and that's, we have the right platform. And, like we said, we highlight your hustle,
That's right.
and that's what we want to do. And I am happy, happy, happy to do that. And we have met some amazing people. And I am so thankful to have met these people.
Yes, I definitely agree.
Badass. Why is he there? Did I hear breathing?
I think so. Did you guys see if we had anyone else?
No, that's it. The other guests didn't show up.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Our doors are always open.
Yes. The doors are always open. So
if you're watching the podcast and you would like to be on the Shameless Plug podcast, you can send us an email at.
Oh, you want me to do it? Oh. It is the Shameless Plug Podcast 25@gmail.com.
That's it. All right. Well, people, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday, 8 p.m. We will have more. No. Wait a minute. Is it next week the panel? Oh, yes. My God. Yeah, we're going to start promoting about the panel.
Yes.
Our panel next week is going to be all about mental health. And we're going to have quite a few people on. So you do not want to miss this at all. Look at Tom promoting us. Look at Tom.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom.
We appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it. All right. So with that said, thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. Tom, you want to cue up the intro? I mean, our exit intro, since you haven't done really much of anything tonight. Or do I have to do it? Yeah, well, I guess I got to do it. Oh, my goodness. I tell you, I don't know why. I don't know. All right, guys, we out.
Welcome to the Shameless Plug with Crimson Vibes and Denise's Creative Mind.
We spotlight the real, no shame in the game. Two queens with the mic calling out your name. From side hustle dreams to headline steam, we raise your voice, we build your team. We don't whisper, we amplify. Your story's power can't touch the sky. This ain't luck, it's divine design. You show up and we align. This is the Shameless Plug, we show you love. Co-sign, you shine like stars above. Dimitri and Deneen, the dream tag team. Plugged in, turned up, shameless and supreme. Let them watch you break the mold. Your biz, your brand, your story told. You're next, you're bold, the space is yours. We open paths, unlock new doors. No filters needed, just your flame. We hype your purpose, speak your name.